Bottom line up front, it's the propeller. There you go. But there's more to it than that. So, welcome back, everybody. My name is Adam. This is RC with Adam. And I had a question from a viewer who, this LVR Clips 14 asks, I have a question that might sound stupid, but if you want a higher top speed of the plane, would you get a better battery, ESC, or motor? And this is after watching the How RC Airplanes Work video. That's not a stupid question at all. In fact, it's such a good question. I said, let's make a whole video about that, answering that question. And it can get a little complicated, but what I would say is start with the propeller. And just because I love you guys so much, I made this little infographic cheat sheet right here. So this is basically the bottom line that we're going to talk about in the video. I'll have a link to it or something, or maybe I'll make a post where you can download this and you can just read this if you don't want to watch the whole video. But we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to show you a little bit of bonus stuff about choosing a motor and kind of buying these components, because they all have to work together. That's the biggest thing. So what I would start with is I would start with the propeller. So the goal is to have an aircraft that's going to fly faster, top speed. We're not talking about acceleration here. And this applies to both airplanes and quadcopters. They're all aircraft. So I would start with the propeller. So how do you get more speed out of the propeller? Well, you want one with a higher pitch. Okay, you can think of the pitch as like it takes a bigger bite out of the air every time it turns around. And that's going to be one of the easiest things that you can do. So when you're looking at the size of the propellers, you're going to see two different numbers, or like two sets of numbers. So in this example, we have 10 by 6 or 10 by 7. That second number, the 6 and the 7 in that case, that is going to be the pitch. So increasing from the 6 to the 7, going up in the numbers, it means you're going to take a bigger bite out of the air. Now, a lot of times you will want to actually decrease this first number. That's the diameter. So or if you were talking about a two-bladed propeller here, it's just going to be the length of the propeller. But if we have 3 blades, it would also be like the diameter of like the disc area. And so a lot of times, because of what we're going to talk about here with motors, you want to actually get a smaller diameter propeller, but more pitch. Okay, so you're gonna take a bigger bite out of the air, but you're not going to have as long of a propeller. And that's so that we don't overheat the motor, which we'll talk about in a second. The next biggest thing would be the battery, okay? And the cell count, as it says right here, the cell count sets the voltage. Okay, and so basically, again, everything has to work together. If you have a motor that is rated for a higher voltage battery, for example, you might have a motor that can take either a 3-cell or 3S or 4S, or 4-cell. The S stands for cell. It actually stands for series, but that's what that means. Is the cell count. If you go from 3S to 4S, you're going to be spinning the motor faster. Okay, because you're sending more electricity at it. And so it's going to add RPM, which is another reason why you would want to decrease the propeller size. So typically, the faster the motor's spinning, the smaller you're going to have the propeller be. And again, a big part of that is so it doesn't smoke the motor. When I say smoke the motor, I mean it gets it so hot that it actually starts smoking and burns itself out. So you have to make sure that you check your motor first. And it's important to note here that I think you can see on this battery, it says 2200 milliamp hours. The milliamp hours, think of that like the size of your gas tank. Okay, that's how long the battery will last for, not the power that you're going to get from the battery. So that's something to keep in mind. So then the motor, okay, and so the propeller and battery, you can, swap those out really easily on your airplane or quadcopter. The motor, that's a bigger investment. Then you're getting to a whole separate, system, a whole separate motor. And if you have a quadcopter, that's 4 motors. So motor, the kV, when you see it where it says kV, that's going to be RPM per volt. Okay, so that's how motors, it's one of the measurements for motors. That's the motor speed. And so the higher number for the kV means it's going to spin faster with the same amount of voltage. Okay, so higher kV spins faster on the same pack, the battery pack, but with less torque, so prop down. What that means here, again, if you're spinning the motor faster and you're spinning the propeller faster, you're probably going to want to decrease the propeller diameter. Okay. But again, these all kind of need to work together. So if you're building for speed, you're going to want a motor that has, this one says with less torque, but you're going to want a motor that has a very good amount of torque so it can spin that high pitch propeller and not burn out. And in some cases, you won't need to increase the RPM because like you're going to have the motor and the battery and the propeller all working together. So those are really the top three. The next thing is going to be the ESC. The ESC stands for electronic speed control. So the way that the ESC is going to work, and actually in this diagram, it's actually reversed. So you'd actually have those three wires that match up with the motor wires, and then you connect the battery. So it goes battery, ESC, motor, and then the propeller is attached to the motor. The ESC stands for Electronic Speed Controller, and what that does essentially is it makes it so that you can control the amount of juice that you're sending to the motor. And so these are usually rated in amps. So you'll see ones that they might say 20 amps, they might say 30 amps, 60 amps. Kind of depends on the size of your, well, the size of your motor and your whole powertrain. All of these components would be part of the powertrain system, the propulsion system. And so the ESC, you're going to want to match that to your motor. And the reason why is if the motor is drawing 40 amps at max thrust, then you're going to want the ESC to be at least a 40 amp ESC and maybe even more so that it won't get too hot, which also goes into how are we building the aircraft. Is the ESC getting enough airflow to be able to cool down? Because when they get hot, they're going to be less efficient, and they could overheat and burn out as well. So that is really, in a nutshell, how you're going to do it. Every part has to work together, and you can usually play around with this. And we're going to talk about this in just a second about purchasing this and kind of how to figuring out how to make things work together. So, but usually there's a little wiggle room. So you could test out on the system that you have. You could get a smaller diameter propeller, but then maybe increase the pitch of it. Okay, and see how you like it. See how that goes. That's a very common way of doing it. But you just got to be careful, like to that you're not burning out your motor. So when you're flying, maybe you fly around a little bit, or when you're testing out a new propeller, fly around a little bit, and then, when it comes back, unplug the battery and then check the motor and see if it's like way hotter than usual. That sort of thing. If it's with a quadcopter, you might be able to see it on the on-screen display or the OSD in your goggles, if we're talking about an FPV drone. So let's move into what about actually like purchasing this? Like what, you're buying it for the first time. How do you know what propeller goes with what motor and the battery and ESC and stuff? Let's jump over to iFlight. Okay, so here's an example for a motor. I like these motors. I need to get some new ones. This one is like a quadcopter FPV drone type motor, like a 5-inch propeller size. Okay, and it also says right here 6S. It says 4S, 6S. So this could take up to a 6S or 6-cell battery. So let's scroll down to the specifications. All right, so here we have specifications. I actually had a really hard time finding like good charts from manufacturers. I thought Emax had some, but I checked and I couldn't find the ones that I had seen like years ago. Sometimes they will give you actual thrust measurements, so they'll give you a chart that shows the voltage and the amperage and the thrust and the percentage of like your throttle percentage, basically, which is really helpful. But in this case, what we want to pay attention to here it says input volts 24, so that's 24 maximum. So that would be for the 6-cell battery. Peak current, so it's saying this is how much it's going to draw. So 41, I think they're saying with the two numbers they give here, I think one is 4S battery and then one is with a 6S battery. I think that's what they're saying. But we know that 41 is our max, so we would want to have an ESC that would be like at least 45 amps. Okay, and then what else do we need to know? It does not give a sorry, what am I saying? This does not give a propeller example here. I think it says in the, where does it say? It doesn't even say it. Okay, so this is what I found, and I can totally understand how this can be frustrating if you're just getting into all this stuff and you're trying to like make sense of all of it and how does it match up. Well, I guess unless I'm missing something, they don't really say what kind of propeller you should use with this. But typically this would be a 5-inch propeller, maybe 6-inch, and maybe down to 4-inch. But typically these are made for 5-inch propellers. So another good resource I usually point people to is Flite Test. So the Flite Test store. So Flite Test, in case you don't know, they make all kinds of DIY kits for RC aircraft, like foam board style aircraft. So here's one of their motors. And this is an 1806. That's like a size measurement for the motor. And it's a 2280 kV brushless motor. And I guess the K is supposed to be small there and the V is supposed to be big. Yeah. So here it says specifications. So input voltage. That's what you want to pay attention to right there. 2 to 3 cell LiPo, this lithium polymer battery. And then they give the voltage, which is nice. So 7.4 to 11.1 nominal voltage range. And they give the KV as well. Well, it's a big KV, so I don't know what to do with that. Okay, here they also give you the recommended model weight. So if you have a, well, it could be on a quadcopter, but typically, if you have a small airplane that you're working with, this would be the weight of the aircraft to get a good like kind of thrust to weight ratio. I don't think they give the thrust measurement here. And the thrust is going to be determined also by the type of propeller you have. So recommended prop size, this is nice, is a 5 to 7-inch propeller. That's quite a range. But typically if you're going to do a 7-inch propeller, you would want to do probably the 2-cell battery. So much lower voltage when you're working with airplanes because they can kind of glide and they have a lot less thrust to weight ratio needs as compared to an FPV drone. And if you're doing the 5-inch propeller, you could probably go with the 3S LiPo. Okay, so you wouldn't want to put a 4-cell or a 4S battery on this motor because it's going to spin it too fast, and it will likely, the amperage will be too much, and it will smoke it. It'll burn out. But if you did, you would want to go with an even smaller propeller. So you're decreasing the load on the motor, which is going to decrease the amperage, which is going to decrease the heat in the motor, etc. But here they're saying 2 to 3 cell. All right, so let's take another look at another example here. So as far as an actual aircraft, because this is, again, you can kind of look and see, maybe you don't have this aircraft that they're selling, but maybe yours is similar and you want to get an idea of the type of components you need for it. So what we're looking at is the FT Explorer MKR2. And here they say, they kind of give the specs in this little infographic part here. So they're saying battery capacity, 3,300 milliamp hour battery is what they're suggesting, with a 3-cell battery. They say Power Pack B. Flite Test has like power packs, like essentially electronics kits, and they call them power packs, and they have letters that designate different ones. So they say Power Pack B. We'll look at that in just a second. So here they give you some specs on this, the weight of the aircraft, and then they say recommended power packs, Power Pack B or C. And so the C is a heavier, more powerful setup that will give more extreme performance and plenty of power to carry extra FPV gear. It requires a 9x6 propeller. What does that mean, class? That's a 9-inch diameter. It's measured in inches usually, which is weird, but we'll talk about that some other time. 9 inches by 6-inch pitch. Okay, so Power Pack B. Let's jump over to Flite Test, the store, Power Pack B. Here we go. FT Power Pack B, They say radial. That's like their branding thing. That doesn't really. That's not like a technical specification. That's kind of like what they name their motor, I guess. Radial. Um, so this is the electronics pack, and right here you can see what is in this pack. So it's a radial 2212 motor. That's the sizing there, and a 1050 kV motor. And you know, that's a much lower kV than what you'd see on typical quadcopters, which are usually like, you know, anywhere from, you know, like 1800 kV to, you know, 2700 kV. Um, and that's because the propeller is 9 inches by 4.5-inch pitch is what they're providing in this kit here. So that is, you know, a way that you can get an idea of figuring out what you're going to need and what your motor requirements are. And yes, it can be kind of confusing. And that is one good thing about the Flite Test store is that if you just, that's probably the easiest way to go as far as like, all right, I want this kit and I want these electronics, and you just kind of, you know, get whatever they say to go with it. Personally, I wish that it was a little bit easier and there was like more information cohesively like on one page, that you wouldn't have to jump around and try and figure out like, all right, what's the right size for this thing and blah blah blah. You'll learn it eventually, but if you're feeling frustrated by it, I totally get it. Thanks for hanging out with me. This has been Adam from RC with Adam. Leave me a comment down below if you are an experienced pilot. What would you say to someone? What kind of advice would you give them if for top speed? Am I crazy here? Would you not start with the propeller? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, get out there and fly something, build something, print something. Have a great time. Keep moving forward, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.